Good evening, everybody. In last night's video, I spoke about this photo and all the theatrics that came with it. This photo was used by a lot of the media today. It mostly looked like this, though, more zoomed in, not showing everything that was going on. It came to my attention from some people on Twitter and Instagram that in this photo there's actually a lot more going on that actually meets the eye. So that's what I'm going to first get into tonight. So you see this, alright? Well, let's go over here. Now, as you can see, this photo is edited a little bit with some writing. And I'm not saying I know the facts, but what's being described on here through all this writing and circling, I think whoever did this and saw this for the first time was right on the money. I did see this photo going around social media a little bit today, which was, nice. Immediately debunked by those supporting open borders, of course, aka the left. I just don't understand their whole viewpoint on this. Like, they're so anti-Trump that they'd rather have open borders than a sensible immigration policy. It just doesn't make sense. It's hard to believe anything that comes out of anyone's mouths from the left anymore. And how I used to be on the left. I was a registered voting Democrat. I voted for Obama 2008. Voted for Ron Paul 2012, but I kind of grew tired of Obama throughout his first term. I saw through the guy. Excellent speaker, terrible president, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, as I was stating, in this photo here, you can see over here, I'll zoom in, there is a cameraman there, and I'm not sure if they're posing for pictures here to make it look like they're fleeing or what, but I can say it's a possibility, And then this one here, this kid here with the white arrow in front of him, dead center. Scroll over a little bit, and here you go. You got a camera guy here, maybe taking this guy's picture, this kid's picture, fleeing. And then you have all these people just standing around, not doing much of anything, apparently not too panicked. But that's what I'm leaning towards. See, anything that like CNN or MSNBC, ABC, CBS, yada yada yada, can go on with it. Anything that they promote, I don't buy, and that's sad. I just don't buy their propaganda, and it's really frustrating to see people that just watch what they say and believe it. They don't do any research. They don't try to make up their own minds. It's like if CNN says it, these people believe it. It's pretty funny. But I dealt with a lot of these people today, especially on Twitter, and just me putting comments out there about stone cold facts, not this photo or anything like that, just stone cold facts, like the migrants were throwing rocks, that's why tear gas was shot at them, or they were busting through the border. And the people like arguing in favor of the migrants had no idea. They're like, oh, is there any video evidence of them throwing rocks? So it took seriously 4 seconds. I typed it in, retweeted it, tagged the people I was talking to. They saw the video, and their response was, "Oh, they only threw one rock." And that was the one video. I actually sent 2 videos. The other video showed them throw multiple rocks. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like a 15-second long video. But, you know, and the longer video, which was about 1 minute and 40 seconds, the one rock throwing, one where they caught the one guy throwing a rock, was the video where they were all sneaking through the fences and then threw a rock, and then tear gas was shot. Then everyone scrammed. So, you know, the argument was, well, he only threw one rock, and what, that deserves tear gas? Yeah, you know, rocks can be deadly. There's no doubt about it. Give me a rock, I can kill you with it, you know? I mean, it doesn't take much. A shot to the eye, the freaking temple, you know, the throat. It doesn't matter. You can knock your teeth out. It's not cool, man. These people are supposed to be seeking asylum. You know, they're trying to conquer our border. Like, I don't care what anybody says. These people are trying to bust through and conquer our border. And enough is enough. Like, I'm all for these people if they have a rightful claim, you know, for asylum. I'm all for it. Welcome aboard, you know. But you gotta do it the right way. Like, this is uncalled for. It's thuggish. I did keep saying that today to everybody. It's thuggish. Because it is. Trying to strong arm your way into a country. Like, who do you think you are? You know, they did it at the Mexico southern border, and it wasn't cool then either. One of the other things that people were talking about was, oh, it's fake news that Mexico's offering asylum to these people, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, when they busted through the southern border, they were offered asylum, but they chose not to take it. They wanted to go to the United States of America. They clearly stated that, and their actions also clearly stated it as well. The President of Mexico said, hey, we'll give you asylum, we'll give you temporary work visas, medical, schooling, the whole 9. And you know what? They said, nah, we're going to skip your country, we're just walking through, we're going to go to the United States, because they give us all the free shit we could ever want. And people on the left didn't know that either. They were like, oh, well, that's fake news that Mexico offered asylum, blah, blah, blah. And that's not true. They really were offered asylum as long as they stayed just inside the southern border and didn't continue walking on into Mexico further and further towards the U.S. border. Now, what they're confusing with that is they don't want to give people trying to claim asylum to the United States. They don't want those people to just sit in Tijuana while, you know, the paperwork's processed and the court date is coming and blah, blah, blah. So that was also very commonly confused on Twitter today. I had to straighten that out too. I have this article here from October 27th from the BBC, clearly stating that Mexico did offer temporary work permits for those that, you know, would stay in the southern Chiapas and whatever that is, Oaxaca states. So basically they wanted them to stay in southern Mexico and stop there and file for asylum. And the scheme was announced by President Enrique Peña Nieto, covers Central Americans who have officially asked for refugee status in Mexico or are planning to do so in the near future. It is called You're in Your Home in Spanish. Continued. Today, Mexico extends you its hand, says the president. But he added, the plan is only for those who comply with Mexican laws, and it's first step towards a permanent solution for those who are granted refugee status in Mexico. The plan envisages temporary ID cards and work permits, medical care, schooling, and housing in local hostels, as I said. So, that was, a month ago? Yeah, about a month ago, and they chose not to go. They wanted to keep coming, which I've also read that if you go through a country that offers you asylum, and you choose not to take that asylum, and you skip that country to go to another country, your asylum is automatically canceled in that next country. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that is something I read a few times actually. So don't hold that against me if it's wrong, but it sounds like it should be right, because this is just taking advantage of the United States. It's getting ridiculous. Like, I think we pay $145 billion a year in paying for illegal immigrants, Medicaid, Social Security, food, housing, school, etc., etc., and that number's growing every year. I mean, this is finally going to maybe, hopefully, put a cap on it. But, I mean, who knows? I mean, it's a big old border. These people just trying to cross here, you know. It's only a small portion of where they could be, or where they are, or where they're crossing. So, who knows? But, I mean, it's out of control. It's time to put a cap on it. I saw an ABC report showing a woman from Mexico who came into the country 20 years ago, I'm sorry, and she's been on government assistance ever since. No job, food stamps, Social Security in Florida, and the people that try to set them up with all this freebie stuff, they say more the merrier, so they can get more federal aid, for the state, which is ridiculous. I guess that's it for that. Next up, I follow a guy named Marcus Conti. I usually agree with everything he says, but he is taking the stance of these migrants. They're not a big issue. They're dishwashers, landscapers, manual labor guys who get what I think he said $5 an hour. And he's saying, banks are the issue, not these people. We're being tricked into hating on these people. Now, don't get me wrong, I agree with the bank part. Yeah, banks are fucking scumbags, no doubt about it. Everybody knows it. But this isn't helping either. You have, I forget what the number is now, 45 million illegals in the country, which I would lean higher than that. But what do I know? But anyway, they come in and flood the manual labor and low-end skilled workforce, and they bring the entire workforce down, monetarily, wage-wise. It's pretty simple economics. They come in under the table, they get paid really cheap. So as a business owner, I mean, if you're gonna have an illegal alien come in for a job, they have no rights. So you pay them whatever you want, and what are they gonna do about it? Nothing. And it kind of just forces out the people that have low skilled, job skills, that are American. There are so many Americans out there having issues with work and homelessness, poverty, etc., etc. And I'm a firm believer that we should be trying to take care of those people first before we take any more of these people. I'm sorry if that makes me cruel. I don't think it does. I really don't. I would rather take care of my fellow countrymen before we take care of foreign people that are trying to bust through our borders, or that snuck in through our lackadaisical border control for the past 25, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it's been. Why do they get to jump in front of the line? And, you see all these nice tents right inside the border that we set up for all these migrants coming when we knew this caravan was coming. And we see all these Californians, living under tarps after their houses burned down. You know, our priorities are so messed up. And the worst part is Californians, lefty California, they're like some of the biggest advocates for this illegal immigration, open borders, et cetera, et cetera. You know, and they're getting burned for it now. So I don't know. It seems as though on Instagram, Twitter, the mood, the opinions toward this situation is moving towards a proper and secure border. That's the majority of the comments that I'm seeing. So I am hoping that, you know, some people are waking up that weren't woken up before, that were being fooled by CNN and MSNBC and all the like. You know, that's all I can hope for. You know, I've been a lefty. Like I said, I've been a lefty my whole life, and I woke up. You know, it's not impossible. I try to help people see the truth, that, you know, you are being lied to for a political purpose, and they are pushing propaganda. And I really hope that, you know, over the past month with Jim Acosta and Obama saying, oh, this caravan's not a big deal, you know, it's 1,000 miles away. Well, you know, you can push stuff off, kick the can down the road for a little while, but eventually that can's going to catch up to you, and it's here. So that whole nonchalant attitude that they both had, and as well as many others on the left had, that this migrant caravan wasn't a big deal, well, it's here, and it is a big deal. So, I mean, I really hope people are waking up to all this. And I really hope, you know, more follow the same path that I took, you know. So I guess I'm going to leave out on this. This is a quote I saw last night, and it really resonated with me. I really liked it. A dead thing can go with the stream, but only a living thing can go against it. And that's it, man. That's me. You know, that's pretty much what all those that stand opposed to CNN and all that other propaganda BS that the liberal media is pushing on us, and I'm just sick of it, man. I really hope people wake up. Well, that's it for me for tonight. I wish you all the best. Take care.